Yeah, I had to step out of the house. My dog was making a little noise in the background. You all may have heard that, but during Trump's first term, of course, we all experienced the pandemic where everyone had to essentially stay locked in the house and just kind of manage, life inside of your home or in wherever the space is that you were dwelling. And during that time off from work, I had several epiphanies. The first epiphany that I had was that, wow, I really don't need a lot of stuff. That was the very first epiphany. I had been home. I wasn't, using any gas. I wasn't purchasing any clothes. I wasn't purchasing a lot of different items for work. I wasn't purchasing shoes and accessories because I didn't have anywhere to go during the day per se, because of course, for a large percentage, time of my life, I'm at work. And so you're always having to buy things, even with lunch, right? I'm at home, I'm going to the grocery store or I'm having groceries delivered because it was, a big thing dealing with the COVID at that time. And people didn't want to be out and you had to be 6 feet apart. But I ended up just kind of realizing like, wow, not actually getting up and going into the building every day, I'm saving a lot more money. So that was the first epiphany. The second epiphany is that I felt very healthy. And I would have to say mentally and emotionally, I felt extremely healthy during the pandemic and energetically, let me speak real deeply about that. Energetically, I felt extremely healthy because I'm home. I'm in a safe space. It's quiet, it's comfortable, it's peaceful. I've created like this ambiance because I understand that I'm going to probably be in this space for 30 days or more. And it was just like, wow, I wasn't dealing with so much negative energy from the people who, of course, I was working with at that time. And so I was like, wow, my health has improved during the pandemic. And I realized that I didn't need to buy a lot of items or spend a lot of money. I was like, okay, this is cool. And then the last thing that happened was I started my t-shirt business during the pandemic. So those three things happened in my life during Trump's first presidency. And I have to say that the pandemic for me and for so many people that I know, it was truly a blessing in disguise. And I'm going to stick with the topic of health. My health, as a result of that pandemic, has greatly improved mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. And my outlook on life has changed. My outlook on money has changed because of the pandemic. I find that now in 2025, I'm more of like a minimalist because I just don't need a bunch of stuff. I find that I'm a lot more happy and a lot more joyous because I was able to rest and then embrace the change. After that first 30 days during the pandemic, it got a little tough. Excuse me, it did. It got a little tough mentally because it was kind of like, okay, we need to go outside. We need to go outside. We need to engage in some different type of activities, whether it be walking or just kind of like physical activities. I know that a lot of the gyms were closed, so that was a big issue. But I guess I'm just trying to point out the beauty that helped me through the pandemic, and then just how Trump going into office that first term and all of the things that transpired during his first term, particularly the pandemic. There were several other things that were huge, but that pandemic, it just changed so much. And for me, the beauty of being a part of this during this lifetime, being a part of the whole COVID experience, was just that the art of living matters, you know what I mean? And it matters. And I see now where so many people are physically and mentally ill, when they're going into these jobs and they're going into these environments where they're dealing with unhealthy spirits. They're dealing with trauma that they haven't even dealt with. Let's be honest, people bring their trauma and their issues to work, and then they kind of like, they project their issues onto others, and it causes a lot of bad energy, low vibes and things of that nature. So no, I don't regret Trump's first presidency, because I feel like it saved my life, because I didn't even know how much of a box I was in when I was just getting up, bathing, eating, going to work, paying bills. And that was my life for a very long time. And I was just really stuck in a rut. I was so stuck in a rut. And I'm grateful that the pandemic happened. I think shortly after the pandemic in 2021, I started traveling again. So I started traveling all over the world, all over the world. I've been to Thailand, I've been to Belize, I've been to the Maldives, I've been to Dubai, I've been to Jamaica, went over to Aruba. I really began to live life. I think I mentioned the phrase earlier in this video. So many people are not enjoying the art of living, or they don't even know that the art of living exists. A lot of people are stuck in a cycle of work, pay bills, work, pay bills, because you have to take care of the mortgage, you have to take care of the family, you have to take care of the kids, you have to take care of yourself. But the art of living is something that I want to tap into in my next video, because I really want to take some time to go into detail and really share, first of all, what is the art of living, and what does that look like for anyone, whether you're working a 9-to-5, a traditional 9-to-5, or you're working the gig economy, or you're running your own business. How are you still making time to actually live and thrive and enjoy your time while you're here on this planet? So that's definitely something that I'm going to tap into in my next video. But how many of you, and talk to me in the comments, let's have this conversation. How many of you actually feel like the pandemic had actually a beautiful impact on your life, whether it was financially? A lot of people got rich. A lot of people started businesses. A lot of people started to become more financially literate and pay attention to their finances and how they wanted to use money as a tool to enjoy life and embrace the art of living during that pandemic. Yeah, Trump's first presidency, it changed me. It has completely changed me. How did the pandemic change you? Particularly for the better. What beautiful thing or experience or person, you never know, people were having babies, I can go on, but what beautiful thing happened in your life as a result of the pandemic? Talk to me below in the comments, okay? And let me know, what was it? Because for me, I have to say that my mental health, my creative energy has improved greatly. My spiritual wellness has greatly improved. It's just been, and how I look at life and money has changed so much. I look forward to talking more in depth about these things in my next video. But just to get it started, this is my first video on my new channel. I'm so happy. I have been wanting to get this YouTube channel started for a while, but I finally got everything situated. And so now I'm focused, because I have so many beautiful, love of beauty. I love all things beautiful. I have so many beautiful ideas and topics that I want to share with my audience to really just bring a sense of relatability and just, healthy energy, healthy energy, healthy vibes to humanity. And so that's what my channel is pretty much all about, just showing the beauty and even the weird, awkward, crazy, wild experiences that we have in this life. What's beautiful about it? But let's talk about this in the comments, please, and thank you very much. What about the pandemic was beautiful for you? How did it change your life for the better? All right. Talk to you all soon. I'm out of here. And yeah, peace.